Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Bear Special Report. It's no longer a daily brief because we don't do this bullshizer daily anymore because hashtag sanity, bro, or someone. So it is 16 October. By the way, do you even wake the giant? Welcome. Thank you for being here. We're up to about 102,000 folks. I appreciate you, Dudley. Good morning, all the blue wrenches. You're tremendous. Believe it. Believe it. Believe it. Everybody tells me. If you're lurking in the shadows, stop. Stop it. Knock it off. That's creepy. Come out of the shadows. Come into the Bear Nation. Like this video. Subscribe to this channel. Ring the little bell icon. That way, the devious tech magnates that are YouTube and Google will pretend to let you know when I go live. You can sign up on Patreon, of course. Coal Miner's Daughter, good morning. Patreon, every single morning we post a link to these briefs so you won't miss out on it. It's $1 a month. You can get 2 months free if you sign up for the year, $1 or more per month. You know how it goes. Like, subscribe, and share. That helps us in our ongoing battle against the YouTube algorithmic robots. Yes, I stole that from Stupid Gear, but imitation is the highest form of flattery. Intel at bearindependent.com is where your emails go to the head dance monkey in charge. What's up, dance monkey? Bless you. You're tremendous. You dance so good in that little tiny iron cage that I have bolted to that dank basement floor. If you do not feed the dance monkeys, they will wither away and die. So, in that regard, Intel at bearindependent.com, Intel at bearindependent.com, Intel at where? bearindependent.com with your good news, your silver linings, and your intel. Intelligence, actual intel. By the way, you spell Bear Independent, BARENDUHPANTZQLMNOP plus apostrophe IA questioning. Asterisk. Grindstone, huge raffle going on right now, grindstoneministries.com. If you want to win all the tactical gear for a $5 entry fee, you could go check it out. If you want to not win all the wonderful tactical gear, you could go not check it out. But I'm just saying, if you want to help our ongoing mission to utterly destroy the human trafficking and sex trafficking industry, spend a $5 bill and potentially win $3,000 worth of badass gear, grindstoneministries.com. Let's get to the freaking report. 16 October. The pandemic's effects have done a number on public health. The simple reality is that no income and an overwhelmed unemployment system has led to food insecurity for many amid higher food prices. Before the pandemic, about 13.7 million households struggled with some level of food insecurity. But this year's events have thrust that number up to roughly 35 million. Almost 3x. Not to be confused with triple X for some of y'all. Get your mind out of the gutter. That's gross, and you should repent of that. Just because you've been hanging out in the red light districts doesn't mean you get to do that anymore here in the Bear Nation. Okay? Okay. Over 10 million of those households, of those 35 million, were eating less and skipping meals. Ew, Milton Roots, good morning. The rest had to eliminate choice and or turn to food assistance. Households with children have seen a tripling of food insecurity rates, which has led to about 13.9 million children living in an affected home. Previously, many children experiencing food insecurity were able to get food at school, but school closures have disrupted that resource too. Local initiatives, food banks, food pantries, churches, and more have all risen to bridge the gap, but after months of strain and fatigue, they now must brace for a new challenge. Corona 2.0. You know it's going to be timed with this freaking election that we got going on. Jerry Cummings, good morning. I will point at you with my pen. The last few months are expected to be especially rough. The USDA food shipments and stimulus are winding down, and food costs are rising. In addition, Second Harvest CEO Harald Herman explained, quote, Unemployment has a 39-week life cycle, and all of those residents that started to file for unemployment in March and in April, those actually term out in November and December. We also think there's another round of layoffs coming and that there's more shrinkage coming in terms of jobs. That's not good. No duh, bro. It's coming at a time when other resources just won't be there, so we're concerned. End quote. This is a smart guy. I see how he made it to CEO. In face of this coming wave, multiple charitable organizations have already reported that they're getting less food and their teams are worn out. By the way, Life Source, Northwest Arkansas, if you're looking for a good ministry to pour into, you got a couple of bucks in your pocket, Life Source in Northwest Arkansas, I think it's lifesource.org. Not only do they feed people, they fix people. I personally know those people. They're freaking awesome. And so if you're looking for something good to do today, go throw a couple bucks at lifesource.org and tell my brother Jimmy you said, "What's up" from Bear. You got to say it like that, though. What's up? Lovely Dudley, good morning. Solidarity. All right. What can you do to help? Donating and volunteering with local organizations can help, as can assisting your neighbors so they don't have to join these breadlines in the first place. A huge number of you within the Bear Nation have reported using your preps and knowledge to help others during this time, to feed them, to help them establish a garden, and so much more. This is such a vital part of what preparedness is about. Thank you for doing that. Some Bear Nation contributors have noted several occasions where lines for food are exceptionally long and supplies have run out or barely covered the need of the day. So, I bring this up because, yet again, we need to talk about food storage, food scarcity. Now, I do want to remind you, though, that just because this thing looks delicious, you're not supposed to eat it, okay? They look totally yummy. However, they are not intended for internal consumption. Got it? Got it. We're going to come right back to the report in a moment, but now for a 60-second infomercial from Bear. Mark time. Go. This is the Bear Fact. It's in red. It's handmade, made in America, guaranteed forever. If you break it, I will send you another one. Those are chalk lines on the back where a human being laid this out and sewed it by hand. These are used on 4 continents by 4 different branches of the United States military and 3 different special operations teams. You pull this tab, and now you got a purpose-built blowout kit in your hand. I put a SWAT T in the top of this one because it's cool. By the way, this goes to somebody who's going to a training event this weekend. So if you get the one with the SWAT T in the top, yours was on camera, and to compensate you for using yours on camera, I'm giving you a SWAT T. Cool? Cool. Pull this tab, it pops open. What's in here? All the stuff that you need, none of the stuff that you don't need. Gen 7 cat tourniquet, surgical tape, decompression needle, duct tape, nitrile gloves, 6-inch emergency trauma dressing, a 2-pack of high-fin chest seals, nasal pharyngeal airway, 2 5x9 gauze pads, trauma shears. Down here you have rolled gauze, emergency blanket, quick clot, triangle bandage, compressed gauze, 2x2s, 4x4s, 5x9s, and more. All of this is $200, handmade, made in America, guaranteed forever at bearindependent.com, and it is significantly less than all the Chinese bull crap that's being sold by other people out there. Trauma pack! So if you want a real kit made by Americans in America, and you're willing to wait a little bit of time, which our fulfillment times will be getting better, praise the Father, in the next few weeks, because #business during COVID. If you want a real first aid kit that's actually saved 11 lives in the last year, you can get one of these. If you don't, that's cool too. Just get a kit, learn how to use it. This is the Bear Fact at bearindependent.com. Back to the report. I love y'all. You're the best. And the reason I do that is because there's 9 families that eat off of the sales of these kits, in addition to the 11 lives that have already been saved. So know that it's not for me. I think you've seen the way that I live. It's not exorbitantly. I'm not trying to buy my 5th yacht. Okay? Okay, okay. All the love shooting out of my chest like a Care Bear. let's get back to the report. Now, in the book of Matthew, chapter 24, the gospel of the Redeemer of the world has a few words about this food scarcity thing. So everybody, turn in your copy of the scriptures to page 947-ish, 2009 translation. And going out, Yeshua went away from the set-apart place, the temple, and his taught ones came near to point out to him the buildings and the temple. And Yeshua said, do you not see all these? Truly I say to you, not one stone shall be left here upon another until all, which shall not be thrown down. He's saying this temple is going to get destroyed. And in fact, he goes further in rebuking the Pharisees. He says, yeah, you destroy this temple, I'll raise it up in 3 days, which is then used out of context to convict him by the Yehudim after Pilate goes, I'm not killing this guy. Y'all want to kill him, go ahead, but I'm not doing it. And they say, he transgressed our laws. He said he was going to destroy the temple. And so taken out of context, you see how much trouble the word can get you into. Yes, that's a zinger, but because I love you. And he, Yeshua, sat on the Mount of Olives, and his taught ones, his apostles, came to him separately, saying, say to us, when shall this be, and what sign of your coming, and of the end of an age? And Yeshua answering said to them, take heed that no one leads you astray. For many shall come in my name, saying, I am the Messiah, and they shall lead many astray. And you shall begin to hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that you are not troubled, for these have to take place, but the end is not yet. Nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. Nation right there is the Greek word ethnos. This is people group against people group. Black Lives Matter. Oh gosh, I'm probably gonna get the plug pulled on me again. Oh, I said it. There he goes. Oh, hold on. Reading my Bible. Let's just do this. Okay. There we go. Go ahead. Demonetize me. Pull my stream. Let's do it. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be scarcities of food, and deadly diseases, and earthquakes in diverse places. And all these are the beginnings of the birth pains. And they shall deliver you up to affliction, and kill you. And you shall be hated by all nations for my name's sake. And then many shall stumble, and they shall deliver up one another, and shall hate one another, and many false prophets shall rise up and lead many astray. And because of the increase in lawlessness, the love of many shall become cold. But he who shall have endured to the end shall be saved. And this is the good news of the kingdom, shall be proclaimed in all the world as a witness to all the nations, and then the end shall come. Food scarcity is literally part of the end of the world. And so the question becomes, is this the end of the world, or is this a cycle that mimics the end of the world? So my humble opinion is that it is not the end of the world yet, but it could very possibly be. And when I see Moshe and Eliyahu literally spitting fire from the Temple Mount, then I'll know, oh crap, we're here now. It's the end of the world. The question is, what changes if it is or if it isn't? You still need to be stocking food. You still need to be stacking it to the rafters, which begs the question, what to stack? Overall living, good morning. Maybe it's just a practice round. Maybe it is. Maybe it's not. Love you, bro. What's a stack? Well, I've told you all about the corn, rice, wheat, and beans. If you're gluten intolerant, then just do corn, rice, beans, no wheat. If you don't like corn, then do wheat, rice, beans. If you don't like beans, too bad, bro. It's a staple. But you want essentially 750 pounds per person of corn, rice, wheat, and beans. That seems scary, but understand that corn comes in a sack at the store for $6 for 40 pounds. Okay, so getting the 180 pounds that you need is essentially 5 sacks. It's $30. Okay, it's $30. So deep breaths. It's $30. We will find $30, Bear Nation. We'll sell our Xbox or whatever. Go collect aluminum cans to get our $30. Okay. Why? Because all of them have roughly the same nutritional density, roughly 1,600 calories per pound. And so when you extrapolate 750 pounds 1,600 calories per pound. Divide that by 365 days in the year. You come to 3,277.18 calories per person per day. What is the recommended intake for a military-aged male engaged in strenuous activity to not lose body mass? 3,200 calories per day, which means we have an excess of 77.18 calories per day. Yeah, that's right. You thought Bear was just an angry guy that killed roosters off of his porch. He is that, but he also has a brain. And he also has been playing drums and drinking coffee this morning, which is why he's going at warp speed. He also occasionally refers to himself in the third person. If Dudley was here, he would ask Dudley to punch him in the back of the head to knock him out of this phase that he is in. However, Dudley is not here at this time, so we shall continue. 3,200 calories per person per day. Good morning, Andy Barnes. 750 pounds of grain per person per year gets you to 3,200 per day, per person. Then you get the 7 meals plan. The reason we do the 7 meals plan is because it allows us to get into rotation with our prepper pantry. The 7 meals plan, what that does is, for example, for us, one of our meals is 2 pounds of pasta, 1 big jar of sauce. Okay, this is a very easy meal to prepare as well. Boil water, heat sauce. Okay, there's very little meal prep. Boil water, heat sauce. And in fact, all of our 7 meals are very little prep. It's essentially boil water and or heat things up, right? Yes, feed corn, not deer corn, feed corn. And yes, I know the molds and the spores and all that. Here's the deal. I have never had an issue with it. Store it like you would anything else in Mylar bags with oxygen absorbers, 2,000 to 2,500 cc's per bucket, 5-gallon bucket. Use whatever lid you want if it's in Mylar. You don't need a food grade bucket if it's in Mylar. I recommend you use Mylar and oxygen absorbers. Uline.com has has all of these things. It's not cheap, but they have them, okay? And you can get buckets by the pallet. Ask me how I know. If you're on Patreon, you know how I know. So, getting back to the 7 meals plan, 2 pounds of pasta, 1 jar of sauce. Yeah, forget about it, but do you really want to be making sauce at the end of a 14-hour day? No, you do not. So, or, you know what, badass, make 52 quarts of sauce, forget about it, and then open 1 per week, okay? There, now we're talking. How do you got it, all right? So, 2 pounds of pasta, 1 jar of sauce, boil water, dump, done, okay? 7 meals like that. Chicken chili is another one that we use with canned chicken, canned chili beans, a sack full of spices, dump it all in a pot, heat it up. Now you take some of that corn that you got set aside, you grind that into cornmeal, 50% cornmeal, 50% flour, a little bit of chemical leavening, baking soda, baking powder, a little bit of fat like vegetable shortening, mix it all together, a little bit of water, a little splash of milk if you got some milk. Put it in an oven, 375, 35 minutes, boom, cornbread, right? Good to go. So that's how the 7 meals plans work. And the thing is, when you're buying 100 pounds of pasta at a time, when pasta goes on sale, instead of being $1 a box for $100, when it goes on sale for 40 cents a box, you buy 100 of them. Now you spend 40 bucks instead of 100. See how that works? Good morning, Phelps. So that's the grains, 750 pounds per person per year, and then the 7 meals plan. If you do that for everybody in your family, you have at least 18 months worth of food right there. And the reason we do that is so that we can spin up our agriculture, okay? Because if this thing goes long, being able to eat allows us to act, not be acted upon. You don't have to get on the DHS bus to go to the FEMA camp if there's food in your belly, okay? That's for real. Matthew Storms, shalom, brother. I caught the Storms 2020 virus a couple days ago. I wanted to die. And while I was in the process of wanting to die, I felt a lot of sympathy for you, brother. So I hope you're feeling better. Now, all that being said, we've looked at food scarcity. We've looked at this food insecurity. Food insecurity is one of these things that has kind of some weird, like there's no hard and fast rules to what is food insecurity. From hungerandhealth.feedingamerica.org, the U.S. Department of Agriculture, USDA, defines food insecurity as a lack of consistent access to enough food for an active, healthy lifestyle. Which, of course, begs the question, what's an active, healthy lifestyle? If you look at the modern American, the answer is not that. But anyway, enough food for an active, healthy lifestyle. It is important to know that though hunger and food insecurity are closely related, they are distinct concepts. Hunger refers to a personal, physical sensation of discomfort, while food insecurity refers to a lack of available financial resources for food at a household level. By the way, if you haven't hit this with a thumbs up, I'm not sure if we can be friends anymore. And if you're not sharing this with all of your actual friends, I don't think they should be friends with you either. I'm just saying. Also, speaking of friends, somebody that I've never met before and I only recently became aware of, and I'm frankly not sure how I feel about him, but there's a place where when I'm not on a Nazarite vow, I buy cigars from, and the guy there, what's up, Derek, has turned me onto a channel called And We Know, which is a Marine intelligence officer, former Marine intelligence officer, who had a channel glorifying God and talking quite a bit about the 17th letter and barbecue and HRC and the cabal and 45 and all that stuff, which I don't get too deep into. However, I did subscribe because I wanted to take a better measure, and we know is now gone. That's exactly right, Jonathan Jennings. That's the point I wanted to make. Yesterday, if you were watching live, and shout out to all the new patrons who now see the value in what we do at Patreon. We don't get the plug pulled on us at Patreon, regardless of whether or not Patreon may or may not be a bastion of conservatism. They've not had any issues with us. We've not had any issues with them, okay? $12 a year, exactly, Black Sheep. So thank you to all the new patrons. We greatly appreciate you. I think you see the value in why we are at Patreon now, okay? Because to have your stream pulled midstream is some freaking bull honky. And I'm trying to keep it PG because I know some of y'all are so brain damaged that you let your kids watch with you. So I love you. I appreciate you. I'm just on a roller coaster right now. So anyway, And We Know, I watched that channel, been watching that channel a bit, and I went this morning, early morning, because my dog decided it was a good idea to murder coyotes all night, so he only woke me up 4 times throughout the night. And I was like, you know what, I need some external stimulation. I'm gonna throw on some YouTube, see what's going on. Channel is gone, does not exist anymore. And so there is a massive concerted effort, and believe me, because we're in the middle of it, there's a massive concerted effort to remove voices like mine and voices like his from the interwebs so that people will not hear it, especially building up to this upcoming election. And so if anybody has a way to contact And We Know, let them know that Bear stands in solidarity with them. And I'm sorry, I don't know what happened to you, but I got a pretty good idea. And this is why we have redundancy other places. Is there an And We Know 2? Copy, I'll check that out. Making a note right now. Got it. I stand with you, Timothy. I appreciate you. So, in the vein of reporting is going to get more and more screwy, and that's saying a lot because it's already screwy as hell. Let's take a look at just a little bit of the headlines that I found at the Blaze this morning. Also, I think we're all tracking here on food insecurity. You don't want to be food insecure, okay? You just don't. You want to be able to act, not be acted upon. So stack it to the freaking rafters. The prepper classroom and the prepper classroom notebook, you can get these in the store. They're expensive. You know what's more expensive? Starving to death because you bought a Mercedes instead of food storage. But literally, it walks you through every lesson in the prepper classroom. The prepper classroom is for free here on YouTube. And so I would recommend strongly that you go check out that playlist. And if you want all the corresponding notes from the whiteboard, they're all in this book. Okay, so you can get this at the store. Because we don't want food insecurity. Because, for example, if we look at what is prepping. Prepping is physical insurance stockpiled against potential chaos coupled with training and with mindset. Well, what physical insurance? Stockpiling elements for food storage, political unrest, self-defense, firearms, armor, ammo, food, water, fuel to cook, implements, medical, sanitation, so forth and so on. Okay, what to prep? This next page right here is what to prep. Boom. Anyway, my point is all that stuff exists for free in the Prepper Classroom here on YouTube. And if you want the companion, the Prepper Classroom notebook, you can get that at the freaking store. Let's look at the headlines from theblaze.com. Is there a decent media outlet anymore? I like Glenn. I do. I've met Glenn. I met him a couple of times. He's a good guy. I think I've told you this before. He's the kind of guy, at least with me, where literally, if you walk into the studios at the Blaze, all of their offices are lined with glass. And so everybody can see everything, which is cool. And the last time I was there, me and Squid were delivering some stuff for a Mercury One pop-up museum. And he was talking with the guy, and they were doing this, and pointing, and he kind of looked over his shoulder and goes, I saw him, he gave the guy like the wait 1 minute finger, looks over his shoulder, comes out, walks over to me and goes, hey man, it's good to see you. How have you been? I'm like, I'm great, Glenn, what are you doing? He goes, what are you bringing us? I'm like, we're bringing you walls for the pop-up museum. And he's like, awesome, thanks so much, dude. And so, he's a good dude, okay? I don't always agree with his reporting, and I find it interesting that he seems to be finding a lack of sincerity with his particular faith group at the moment, the church, not his belief, but the church. He seems to be having an issue with its lack of spine to stand up against tyranny and abomination. But I digress. He's a good dude. However, if we just plow through some of these headlines on the Blaze, I want you to think about some of these things in regard to a decline of an empire, okay? We're just gonna read some headlines. Just think about a decline of an empire. Latest stories from theblaze.com/news. Joe Biden appears to imply that children as young as 8 should be able to change their genders. NBC's Savannah Guthrie accused of bias after contentious Trump town hall. She sucks, by the way. She sucks. You continue to talk over the President of the United States like that? I'm telling you, he has a lot more self-control than I do. I would have kicked that stool out from underneath her. I'm telling you, I wouldn't have hit her, but I would have kicked that stool across the room, and if she happened to be sitting on it, that's a whole nother story. Next, Twitter caves and reverses policies on the New York Post story ban after furious backlash. New York Jewish leaders sue Governor Cuomo alleging blatantly anti-Semitic coronavirus restrictions. Trump campaign advisor says White House is looking into taking legal action against Twitter for censoring New York Post Biden story. I'm telling you, we keep reading these headlines, they're going to pull the plug on us. GOP Senator Sass excoriates President Trump in call to constituents. That's a good way to make friends, Ben. And to which I would say, good for you for not trying to make friends, for doing what you believe in. AdventureFrontier.com, fluffy bunnies. Democratic operatives call for Dianne Feinstein to step down as Judiciary Committee ranking member. She should step down into a pre-dug 6-foot deep hole. Just saying, she's that frail. Ugh. Okay. I wonder, like, if I could actually interview her, my first question would be like, what is it like to actually be the living dead? I'm just curious, like, what is your day like? How does it start off? When you flip upside down out of your perch and flutter to the ground with your wings, do you immediately start eating children, or do you brush your teeth first? Like, how does this work for you? I'm curious, you know, do you, like an owl, do you regurgitate pellets, or like, I don't know. Man survives being shot 9 times, only for his ex-wife to allegedly plan another murder-for-hire plot. Marksmanship matters. FCC chief says Facebook and Twitter will face greater regulation after New York Post Biden debacle. Let's see whatever other garbage we got here. Would-be debate moderator Steve Scully blames conservatives while admitting he lied about his Twitter account being hacked. Boy, 12, dares to speak up for President Trump in class. Teacher asks students why he supports a racist and a pedophile. Bad idea. New Jersey mayor calls Trump voters religious zealots who want Christian Sharia law, tells them to go F themselves. She refuses to resign or even apologize. Well, New Jersey. Even math is tainted by racism, says Wake Forest professor as school launches anti-racist uses of math class. I've never been happier to now be homeschooling. Like, straight up, like I'm telling you, we were, like up until COVID, honestly, like our schools here in Eastern Oklahoma are awesome. We have teachers who have taught my children here at the channel, who have shared meals with us and hang out on the porch with us. Like, we love them. They're great people. But I'm telling you, to have 100% control over what my children consume, and not in like a dictatorial kind of way. It's not like, you will do this, you won't do that. It's not that. But to know that, like, we're never going to have a discussion about racist math other than to illustrate all of the problems with even deeming math as racist. You know what I mean? So, federal judge rules inmates are now eligible to receive stimulus checks. That's cool. Inmates are eligible to receive one. But if you're a white male with 3 businesses and a ministry, you're not. Just saying. So that's fine. It's whatever. I'll just pay for all that garbage. I don't mind at all. At all. Even a little bit. Let's go do some crimes, go get locked up, and then Bear is happy to send you a check. That's fine. And I realize that's an unpopular opinion, but I don't care, because legit, you see all this? All these? These are all different business ventures and things that I've been involved in. I've been doing this, praise the Father, since I was 17 years old, right? There's everything that I have has come out of 3 different columns. The provision and blessing of the Most High, my own blood, sweat, and tears, and the provision and blessing of people that for some inexplicable reason love me. Okay? But that middle column, the blood, sweat, and tears, I think really informs the other 2 columns. Because you reap what you sow, right? And so that's fine. I sow a lot of seeds. I love you back, William. I sow a lot of seeds, man. We do a lot of wonderful, wonderful things as a team and as organizations and as Grindstone Ministries, man, and with Prosperity, with Bear Facts, with Refuge Medical, with Bear Independent. Like, we do a lot of wonderful, awesome things. And the price that I get to pay for that is taxation. Because rather than being a drone, rather than being consumers, we choose to be producers. So, whatever. Anti-Trump vandals go hog wild in Arizona neighborhood, but Biden campaign signs, they're left alone. Elections chairman resigns after removing and defacing Trump signs in South Carolina. New York Post opinion editor speaks out after big tech censors bombshell story on Hunter Biden and Ukraine. Atlanta Falcons shut down facility after single confirmed COVID-19 case. That is the dumbest garbage ever. Unmasking probe ordered by AG Barr into Obama-era officials reportedly ended without any charges or conclusive findings. Garbage. It's all garbage. let's talk a little bit about the town halls last night. I thought, I mean, I'm me. Y'all have a pretty good idea of where I stand on these things. I thought Sleepy Joe didn't lose it as much as perhaps he could have. I'm not going to say he had a good performance, but he didn't necessarily have a bad performance. I do think that President Trump did a great job, though. Like, I honestly think he did a great job. That moderator, whatever her name was, Savannah Guthrie, she's terrible. She's just terrible. Just terrible. Was he more reserved now? Yeah, I think so. I think the fact that, again, he didn't kick that stool across the stage and didn't raise his voice and wasn't necessarily argumentative speaks volumes, I think. I think he got a lot of good feedback, talking about President Trump here. I think he got a lot of good feedback from his team that was like, look, when you were debating Biden one-on-one, you kept interrupting, and you shouldn't have. And I've heard it reported that, gosh, what's his name? Jr. Donald Trump Jr. has said that he felt like his dad wanted to set the record straight then and there during that first debate. Rather than letting people get away with lies, he wanted to set the record straight then and there. And I think that's wonderful. I just think that it perhaps fed into this storytelling that he's a bully. He was not that from what I've seen. Now, I didn't watch all the debates, but I did watch the highlights. He was not that from what I've seen and all of that highlight footage. He was very well controlled. I would have, again, that Savannah Guthrie, I would have been like, yeah, this is Bear to Storms. You're cleared hot, Storms. Yes, immediately after the debate. Roger that. So anyways, what were you saying, Savannah? Got it. Biden, by comparison, didn't seem necessarily completely evil and senile. Just a little bit evil and senile, which, to his credit, is a real feat. Like, a real feat. I still do not believe these, high single digits, low double digits points lead, 9 to 15 point leads. America already knew he's a bombastic speaker. No votes lost. Agreed. Roger, space gun activated. I just see like purple lasers flying out the end of it. Pew! Pew! And they're like, they don't hurt when they get there. It's just like, what was that? I'm hit? Question mark? I have a mild sunburn? What happened to me? All right, so I thought the town halls, it's Mondays. The town halls, I do think Trump did a really good job, and Biden didn't do a terrible job. I still don't think anybody's undecided here. Kosher Dad, good morning. Who the hell is undecided at this point, right? Now, all this stuff that's going on with, we'll just call him Junior, over there in the Ukraine. You know which Junior I'm talking about here. The guy who left his laptop, allegedly left his laptop at like a geek squad filled with videos of him smoking crack and interacting lewdly with, oh, hold on, I'm somebody, I have a visitor. They're on the seat of the website. I'm using that. Okay. That's right where I left him. Okay. Sorry, bear camp things. How does this kid, 50-year-old, 50, right? A full grown man, get paid that much money to do nothing other than to smoke crack and hook up with hookers. And then you see the stuff that's going on with China being paid for influence, $850,000, and then a 50-50 partnership with the Chinese energy, some Chinese energy group as well. That one time was the largest energy group in China. They're like, yeah, pleased to make for you to have the best for influence, for handshake, make calls, and then monies are for to appear in account of PayPal for Biden, Hunter for pleased to make 850K. Yeah, right? Very interesting. Yeah. Barry got my scriptures yesterday. You're welcome, homie. So, they're all criminals. I would agree with that. With that, I just find it really interesting. Interesting. I don't think that anybody is being swayed by this, though. I really don't. I don't think that anybody's really being swayed by this. I think you're already voting for Trump or you're already voting for Biden and you just don't care. It's just like when Trump said, grab him by the... Did he lose some voters? Yeah, probably 14 voters. We're like, nope, I'm not doing it. And, oh my gosh, Hunter Biden works for China and smokes crack. Did Biden lose voters? Yeah, like 14 of them. It's the same 14 people that just bounce back and forth. The rest of us, I think, have known for months, if not years or decades, who it was that we were voting for. Already too polarized. Agreed. So, with that, adventurefrontier.com, right here. Time for another 60-second advertisement. Mark time. Adventurefrontier.com is run by our brother and our friend, the NWA Prepper. You can use promo code BEARNATION there on your armor, your IFAKs, and your fluffy bunnies. They do have the best IFAKs in the world. Coughing time doesn't count. Because they carry the Bear Fac and the Bare Minimum. In addition to that, they have all your Spartan armor. They've got your level 3, level 3 plus, level 4 steel plates, multi-hit ceramic plates, trauma pads, single curve, triple curve, anti-spalt coating, Ranger carriers, MOPSIs, blah, 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 blah. They got all of that stuff at adventurefrontier.com. It's a small business doing big things. They've also got your fluffy bunnies right here, also known as evil hamsters, if you ask Aspen. So if you need an evil hamster or armor or an IFAK, or you just got some money burning a hole in your pocket, support a small business, adventurefrontier.com. 2, 1, time. Bless y'all. Love you guys. All right. Now, Grindstone Ministries is our ministry. 2021 is going to be the year of Grindstone. We have decided this. In order for 2021 to be the year of Grindstone, we are fundraising like nobody's business right now. So we have a massive raffle, like well over $3,000 in value, probably closer to $4,000 in value right now at grindstoneministries.com. You can spend $5, get a raffle ticket. You can spend $500 and get 100 raffle tickets. Every single dollar of that goes to fulfilling our mission statement. Nobody is paid. There's no like staff. We do have a board. There's no paid members on the boards. All of the operating costs of Grindstone Ministries come out of my pocket. And then there are a handful of y'all that have made it your business to send checks to us each month, and we love you and appreciate you for doing that. Thank you very much. We put all that money towards the mission. What is the mission? To rescue and rehabilitate victims of human trafficking and sex crimes. Average age of these victims is between 8 and 12 years old. Generally speaking, 2/3 female, 1/3 male. The average victim has been violently raped 30 times. The average perpetrator has perpetrated attacks on 70 individuals. That means if we get one dude arrested That's 2,100 violent rapes prevented. The other thing that we're actively trying to do here is break generational curses, because broken people break people. So if we can rescue and rehabilitate, Bear is not March of Dimes. Bear is none of that bullshit. If we can rescue and rehabilitate, then we're breaking that cycle, okay? It's very important to us to break that cycle. It also is very important to us to provide a biblical covering for orphans, okay? Bless you, Danny Jackson, thank you. So Grindstone Ministries is the real deal. There are hundreds of people here in the chat right now that have been on mission with us, have worked with us, have seen the fruit that we're bearing. I frankly find it very difficult, Chantel, bless you, find it very difficult to talk at any great length about what Grindstone does. I'm trying to get better at that, because this is not about me. It's not about us. It's about the Father and the conviction that He's put on our heart to build and maintain these facilities, to save these kids, to rescue, rehabilitate, and restore. And so 2021 is the year of Grindstone. In order to get to 2021, we got to get through 2020. And I know the economy sucks. I know people are out of work. I know it is not a happy place for a lot of us out there in the world. However, if you got $5, you can partner with us in this and have the opportunity to win a whole mess of awesome gear. Now, there's also 3 companies I want to talk to you about real quickly, who all of which support Grindstone with essentially a tithe that they send to us. And the first is Disaster Coffee. And I just want to read you a testimonial that was on Instagram for Disaster Coffee. And it is this: disaster, more like a miracle. For years, I've always searched for the perfect cup of coffee. Starbucks always tasted like hot garbage and made me start to grow a weird hipster beard. Being a woman, that wasn't a good look. Living in the Pacific Northwest gives me access to seemingly unlimited varieties of coffee, each more ghastly than the last. I dabbled in local coffee shops, but they were just a means to an end. I trudged through life feeling like I was missing something. My mornings were filled with mediocre cups of sadness. Everywhere I turned was another hipster with some micro-brewed blah blah blah, coffee bong, hand grinder, space gun. No, that's not what this says. Just kidding. Is a good cup of coffee too much to ask for? I screamed to the heavens. Then a bag of Disaster Coffee appeared like a mythical creature emerging from a dank and dark swamp. Could it be? Had I finally found what my soul had yearned for? Yes. From the first cup, I was hooked. I'd wake up each morning exhilarated to fill my cup with actual rainbows and unicorns. I'd go to bed each night with a great anticipation for the morning to come. A great independent bear once said, "Drink Disaster Coffee." I'm usually skeptical of woodland creatures telling me to drink liquids, but this time it really paid off. Thank you guys for all you do and for making my mornings magical again. That is perhaps the best testimonial for coffee ever. TRW, bless you. Bless you. Thank you so much. So, Disaster Coffee, for real. Your life might suck, but your coffee doesn't need to. They're phenomenal people and phenomenal coffee. So disastercoffee.com. Amendment, the #1 preparedness. They're tremendous, believe it. Jimmy James, thank you. Bless you. Thank you. Amendment, the #1 preparedness. Best prepper combo, hands down. Just the best. You need battery backup? They got it. You need some 120 in a 40 millimeter can? They got it. How about a fat 50 filled with 20 or 12 volt backups? They got that. You need some handhelds? They got that too. The best. Believe it. Believe it, Mark. Believe it. So, amendment the #1 preparedness.com, huge contributor to the Grindstone raffle as well. So please support them. They were just recently able to purchase a second CNC router because of all of the revenue coming from the sales of the Bear Nation. So bless y'all. That's awesome. Thank you for supporting small businesses. And sanctifiedsupplyco.com. Y'all helped Jerry and Lucia move from the Pacific Northwest to the center of the country by buying t-shirts. Hands up in solidarity. Everybody in the nation, get your arms up. Get your arms up. Let's do it. Left arm up. No, this is not some type of... It's because lovely Dudley is having a cramp, and we're all raising our arms in solidarity. Okay? Is everybody good? Everybody good. Got it. Solidarity. Okay. Sanctified Supply Co., the unofficial uniform of the Bear Nation, the Stay Humble and Kind shirt. They have lots of other cool shirts as well. The Warrior shirt, Exodus 15:3, is another personal favorite of mine. My daughter loves the Be Loved shirt. They have great stuff. They're a small business. They are glorifying the Father with their actions and with their products. So check them out, sanctifiedsupplyco.com. Silver linings. Quote, started prepping a couple of years ago. Kept talking to my son about having 2 buckets of rice, 2 buckets of beans for each person. Well, we found you, and you lit the fire under his butt. Now he sends me pictures of his garden. He lives 12 to 14 hours from me. The caption for his pictures is doing the things. He watches you. He's 34. His wife is halfway into prepping now. She has a new weapon and is a dead shot. Impressive. I'm still prepping little by little. My plan is to prep for 1700s reality. Thank you for getting the fire burning. Well, bless you. Good job, 34-year-old son. A wife who's halfway in. Get all the way in because the world's going to get weird. And I think it shouts volumes that your father or mother, I feel like mother, but I don't know that for a fact, wrote in to us to brag on you. So keep doing the things. Good job. Another silver lining. A man met a wonderful woman, has asked the Most High to prepare him for marriage, and fasted and prayed to drive a porn addiction out of his life. He was provided with a way to get out of the population centers, which enabled him to provide a place for his parents and to have a place to carry and shoot, and is now teaching others how to use their recently acquired firearms. Praise Yah. That's awesome. Bless you, brother. And I feel like there's a verse for you that was just given to me yesterday by a brother, and it's a verse that I'm familiar with. But grindstone is called grindstone because of Proverbs 27, verse 17. As iron sharpens iron, so one brother sharpens another. Well, grindstones weaponize iron. They make that iron real useful. And so we are grindstone for that reason. And so a brother contacted me yesterday in the sharpening of and gave me this verse, so I'm going to give it to you. James 1, verse 1. Jacob, James, a servant of Elohim and of the Master Yeshua Messiah, to the 12 tribes who are in the dispersion. Greetings. My brothers, count it all joy when you fall into various trials, knowing that the proving of your belief works endurance. And let endurance have a perfect work, so that you might be perfect and complete, lacking in naught. If any of you lacks wisdom, let him ask of Elohim, who gives to all generously and without reproach, and it shall be given to him. But he should ask in belief, not doubting, for he who doubts is like a wave of the sea, driven and tossed by the wind. For that man should not think that he shall receive whatever from the master. He is a double-minded man and unstable in all his ways. Count it all joy when you fall into various trials, knowing that the proving of your belief works endurance. And let endurance have a perfect work, so that you be perfect and complete, lacking in nothing. And if you lack wisdom, ask Elohim, who will give generously to all without reproach. And our last silver lining this morning, a man and his wife bought 6 acres, gutted and remodeled the home therein themselves, and turned the land into a working farm. They have helped feed their community with weekly produce boxes. My community is strong, they say. We all count on each other and have a large web of inner circle allies. I only spend my money at 4 locally owned stores and only promote good people. I plan to be one of the rocks for my community. I will stand my ground and with all my power protect the good people around me. To everyone out there, now is the time to stand for something. Promote good people and take care of each other. Don't allow fear or peer pressure to lead you away from what you know to be good and true. All we have is our local communities. Make sure you are in a good one and then do whatever you can to help your neighbors. Praise Yah, that is awesome testimony. Now, if you're trying to find some neighbors, the forums at bearindependent.com, go check it out. There goes one of my awesome neighbors right now. The forums at Bear Independent, yes, they are there. They've been there for a while. Go check it out. Karen, thank you. And let's see, lastly, we got a TCCC event coming up this Sunday, this first day in North Texas. I'd love to see you there. I got a few more slots I need to fill, so if the spirit moves you, you can find that at the website. You can use promo code BEARNATION on anything in the store, okay? Anything, on a sticker, from a sticker to an 8-hour TCCC class, okay? You can use promo code BEARNATION for 10% off, and you can also, TRW, if you get 20 people together, then yes. You got to email sales at Bear Independent. Storms, amen. But anyway, you can use promo code BEARNATION for 10% off everything in the store, and all of the first aid kits, as well as the training classes, can be paid for with your health savings account and your flexible savings accounts. That your HSA or your FSA, you can use that on all of those things. And you do receive with the training a $100. We charge $100 for it. North American Rescue sells the same exact thing on their website for $115, so we're $15 cheaper than them on their own product. $100 TCCC trainer kit that you take home with you, so that you retain the kit, so you can be a force multiplier to go back in your neighborhood and teach people how to do what you did. Whether it's your church, your team, your tribe, your mag, your small business, your whatever, you can teach people how to save lives with that kit. Lastly, and I'll briefly address this, and then we're going to pray. Yesterday during the live stream here on YouTube, it was cut short by YouTube. They said that there was copyrighted audio on the stream. We all know that to be untrue. That particular stream is currently unavailable. It is being contested hotly by us, but the review period is such that probably won't be back until after the election. It does give us one community guideline strike, which is bullshizer, but whatever. And that's what happened. They pulled the plug and we were gone. Many people who were on Patreon were upset that they couldn't see it on Patreon either. The reason for that is because the content was hosted here on YouTube, but posted to Patreon. It does not live on Patreon in that regard. It was a YouTube live stream. It was also posted to Patreon. So it wasn't that Patreon was also censoring us. It was that the link that was at Patreon was no longer good because that content had been pulled by YouTube. Okay, the link at Patreon was just a referral to the live stream at YouTube anyway. So all that being said, we're alive and we're thriving, man. What's our mission statement? To save lives while in service to the Father's kingdom and experiencing the abundance of his provision and blessings. We're good. But I was very encouraged to see so many new people at Patreon yesterday. So bless y'all and thank you. Thank you for supporting us in what we do. It means the world to me. Anybody that knows me well enough knows that this is not about me. This is not about me. It's about the blessings that the Father has allowed me to partake in and experience. And all those blessings are people. And there are real people on both sides of this iPhone that I get to interact with daily. And a lot of those people are directly involved in what we do here. And so to have your support in what we do here means the world to me, because there are nine households that are sustained through what we do here, and I count that a real blessing. And so if you can't join us on Patreon, please like, subscribe, and share. That helps us here. If you can join us on Patreon, please do. That helps us there. If you can spend $3 in the store, please do. That helps us there. If you need a Bible and can't afford one, email me, admin@BearIndependent, and I will give you one. Okay? All I need to know is where to send it. If you can spend $5 on a grindstone raffle ticket, please do. That helps us rescue, rehabilitate, and restore. But it's your partnering with us that allows me to do what I do, and it allows all of us to do what we do here as part of the Bear Independent team. And I am just super thankful for the Bear Nation. You guys are awesome. You guys are absolutely awesome. And I appreciate you. And yeah, thank you. So, let's talk to the Father. Good morning, Father Yah. Father, thank you for everybody within the sound of my voice. Thank you for the opportunity to do this, that even as the world burns and as that these bastions of civility are crumbling to the ground, Father, you are still sovereign over all things. Father, thank you for being present in our lives, for being inexplicably manifested for good in our lives, that we would know you personally, Father, and experience you and just the massive power and authority of you, the awesomeness of you, Father. You are incredible. Father, Yah, thank you for all these people. Father, if there is anything within the sound of my voice that is not of you, be it within me, be it within anybody within the sound of my voice that is not of you, we come together in agreement and rebuke it in the name of Yeshua HaMashiach, command it to flee. I pray that you would fill us up, that you would backstop us with the Ruach HaKodesh, your Holy Spirit, that you would be physically indwelt in us for wisdom and discernment, for strength and power and authority, for love, for compassion, for understanding, Father, for healing, and for peace that surpasses all understanding. Father, I pray that you would use us to be your hands and feet today, that you would build testimony in us and through us, that people would see us and that they would know you, and that we would come to know you better. Thank you for Yeshua Messiah and for making a way to come home again for people like us, for relentlessly pursuing us even as we have turned our backs on you. Father, thank you for the blood of the Lamb. Father, I pray that you would continue to convict us regarding whatever comes next, that we would be the light, that we would shine into the darkness, and the darkness would comprehendeth it not. Father, thank you for the best job in the world, for the best team in the world, for my wife and my children, for my friends, for my family, for my camp and my tribe, and for the Bear Nation. And I lift all these people up to you and lay them at your feet and ask these things in the mighty name of Yeshua HaMashiach. Amen. I love y'all back. Hey, and shout out to all the small businesses that are out there that are listening every day and praying along. I see you in the CZ factory. I see you at Ron's Discount Lumber. I see y'all. I appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you all for staying in touch and helping me continue to realize that there are real people on that side of the iPhone. NWA Prepper, bless you, brother. Thank you all for keeping me motivated. Go be the light.